I'm not here to tell you that I did everything right, because I haven't. But I will tell you this: I'm proud of who I am. And why am I talking about this? Because I'm seeing, after spending 50 years servicing my industry, which is the printing, packaging, and converting industry, 50 years in 3M globally as a contract converter, and also 20 years of doing M&A, advisory, and coaching. I received an opportunity when I was in my 20s to eventually buy the family business. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I sacrificed a lot, made a lot of mistakes, uh, had to change a lot because I got 10 brothers and sisters. My father was my mentor, and then eventually had to break away and start doing my own thing. I've spent time helping second, third, fourth generation companies in my industry, and I'm very focused on good, strong companies that have a sustainability brand, a brand of greatness. So you talk about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett only buys brands that are great, right? Well, I'm the same way. And my concentration is with what I call A players. And the A players are private equity groups. Very few family successions are going to be successful. Very few. And you could look up all the statistics you want with the Harvard Business Review. And when you do a merger and acquisition, it takes 5 to 7 years to even consider success. Now, what's that all mean? Why am I talking about this? Because the people that listen to my channel are usually people that are young, people that are starting out in their careers, people that are looking to be an entrepreneur, people who want a work-life balance. My message is for those people that are very curious if their family business, Main Street business, small business, niche business, look at what's going to happen to you if you have no equity in the position of that organization. I don't care if you're there 3 years, 5 years, 40 years. Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, the owner's going to take care of themselves. Now, how do you handle that? I'm going to give you a story. It's a true story. I know a good friend of mine spent 22 years with a company, a packaging company, and he was promised verbally by the owner that when he hits a certain milestone, come back to him and acquire, not given, acquire 10% of the family business. And he was a non-family member. They treated him like a family member. They paid him as a family member. He had achievements, very successful. And he went and talked to him about the 10% after 22 years. And the 23rd year, he was gone. Why was he gone? The founder of the business passed on the business to his family. And in the 23rd year, he was rejected for the 10%. He got a thank you, attaboy, and that was it. A very short discussion. The 23rd year, he came in with a strategic plan for the growth of the company with his PowerPoint ready to go. Who showed up for the meeting? HR and the son. And I believe there was a lawyer involved. And he had to travel to meet with them. And he was expecting a strategic plan to be presented of what the goals were in his game plan for additional success with the family. And here he got a pink slip. That's right, got a pink slip. So what's the first thing he did? He contacted a lawyer. He was hurt, man. He was hurt. They can't do this to me. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And it's happening right now with my former company and my family members that are there now. And so my family members are like, oh my God, I'm in my 60s and 70s. What am I going to do? What do you mean, what are you going to do? You're going to reinvent yourself. They don't make you. Your employer doesn't make you. No matter what success you had. And if you were satisfied with a paycheck and a W-2 and the feeling of comfort, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now you got to get out and make things happen. If you're working for a public company, look at their situation. Look at their reputation. Look at their financials. It's all public information. You're working for a private company, hopefully you're part of the game plan. You're part of the strategic plans. You're part of the leadership. You're part of the management. Be careful. Be careful. And the bigger they get, the more legal they get. Okay? Family business is about personal money. It's not about OPM, other people's money. However, when they sell, they demand other people's investment. They demand it. Because strategics, if you're not a strong player in the industry, it's death. And these guys that are there 30, 40 years, second generation, are looking at their dad or their mother saying, what's in it for me? They're going to get it in estate planning. They're not going to get it. And they're going to have to start working for a living for the new buyer. Very few people get out unscathed. And we all know what an earn-out is, right? That's where you're going to earn your payback. Doesn't work. There's always a game plan. Very few people keep their promises. Be careful of the contract. That LOI, that letter of intent, once you sign it, that's it. And I always talk about the 3 T's. Do you trust these people? Are they transparent? And what's the timeline? Because if you don't make and calculate that formula of the 3 T's, trust, transparency, timeline, you're out. And this is all behind the scenes. You won't see it happening unless you're on the lookout. So I call it the NFL, not for long. I learned something when I worked with 3M and their personnel for close to 30 years, okay? And I'm talking about globally. And if you were on a move every 3 to 5 years, I'm talking about overseas transportation, relocations, 3 to 5 years of growth, you're out. You're out eventually. And there's a lot going on in the industry today, in the industries. And now with the government and tariffs and competition, global competition, we might even have different nationality competition. How important is outsourcing going to be? Supply chain. Who's going to be competitive? If China's not going to be a supplier, who's next? Is it Vietnam? Is it Southeast Asia? What about Mexico? What is South America? I don't think so. That was back in the 80s. And now look at it. So that's the global outlook. I want you to look at your outlook. Your outlook, take care of yourself. Understand, it's the NFL. You spend 3 to 5 years learning, taking it up. And the other thing that is a really great opportunity that I took when I was in my 30s is I had an employment contract. If they don't offer you an employment contract, or signing bonus. You surely don't want a non-compete in today's world. Those days are over in half the states. Be real careful. And I'm talking about the people that really want to work hard, okay, and have achievements, and want to really gain a financial independence. It's really hard if you don't get the opportunity or see the opportunity, envision it. The other thing that I recommend, have a mentor. Have somebody that really trusts you to talk to you and help you in a non-profitable way. Somebody that really has the compassion for you, take you under your wing. I've had it, my son's had it. Many people that I know have mentors. And my father mentored me many times. 3M mentored me over the years. But guess what? Everything's changed. People have changed. Many people of my career of 50 years have passed on. And as I mentioned before, I was the youngest in the room in the 70s and the 80s. Now I'm the oldest in the room. So here's my pitch. Watch me on TikTok. Please subscribe. I'll be talking about this more and more because it's really hit a nerve, because white collar recession is real. Baby boomers, it's real. Social Security, it's real. Until when? Got to take care of yourself, man. If the ultimate goal is to be kind, considerate, respectful, serve, bring joy, that's it. Because I've been kicked so many times, betrayed. That's why I talk about trust. That's why I talk about transparency. That's why I talk about timelines. Because I've experienced all the negative aspects. So now I want to pass it on to you. You got to make your own decision. So I'll talk to you soon. Always bring joy. Stay the course. Keep your promises. And good luck.